Namasteacher. Welcome to our first tutorial, and today our tutorial is maths. Missing number sentences, equations. I think a lot of adults fear maths. Why is that? I think it's because we've been taught a lot through a mechanical way of solving problems. It will give us a very quick answer. But then, when we have to teach, we feel, ooh, and when the children ask, why? And sometimes we don't know the answer. So today, I want to give a tutorial for the adults so you don't have the problem of feeling lost when they ask, why? It's to empower you, whether you are a teacher, a TA, tutor, if you lead a club, after school, or at home, a parent or carer. This is to empower you dealing with missing number sentences. Let's think a missing number sentence. That's where cross-curriculum is so important. That's where Namasteacher emphasize cross-curricular, and that's why we are unique, helping you. What is a sentence in language, in literacy? A sentence, what is the structure? Usually has a subject, a verb, and an object. Namasteacher is great. If we see here, we can do a parallel. You can say that this part is the subject, the verb equals, it is a verb, and the object is 10. If you look there, you will see that this part, the subject, and this whole sentence poses a question. And that is what is important, because in real life, for example, if I go to the supermarket and somebody give me £10 and asks me to buy anything I want, but I have to bring back 3 tins of milk powder, and the tins are £1, so £3. So that's it. I have £10, but already have 3 allocated to the milk. What else? How much do I have to spend, really? You won't see this in real life. You will see questions posed to you. So every sentence is a question, and we have to understand the question that's being asked of us. Second is how we're going to solve it. So the first one is the question, which number adding 3 equals 10? So then, method, or how. Okay, how we're going to solve it. And then the third will be checking your answers. This is very important. These steps, if you teach in the United Kingdom, you probably might have seen this. You call steps of success, or what makes good, or steps of learning, steps of achievement. I usually do 3, and I think it's very, very important, because they are steps that whichever you face, you can succeed following these ones. All right? So, the first one, a question. What is the question? Let's start solving this one. Which number that taking away 5 equals 9? Now, I like to use a very interesting concept. A scale. An equation is a scale, and you have to balance both sides. So think about if you have at home or in school, and you can even make scales with paper plates, plastic cups, but make sure that the objects weigh the same. You don't want 5 bananas on one side and then 5 watermelons. If it's 5 and 5, but the weight is completely different. Okay? Make sure you have that. So you have this, take away 5 equals 9. So whatever we have here, we have to have it here. Alright? So if you think that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 9 marbles here. So I have a number here which, taking it away, will give me 9. So I have, this here should be heavier. How much heavier? So you can do empirically, you can try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you try lots of combinations. It has to be more than 9. So what would you do? You will put 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you count. Oh, 14. Okay, we think it's 14. Take the 5 out, and we'll have 9 and 9. And you solve the answer. Turning that, if it was addition, okay, let's just change to addition. Which number that adding 5 will get me to 9? Okay, so you put the 5 and you just put 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, balanced. 4. 4 or 14, depending if adding or taking away. Now let's write that concrete idea. Let's turn it to an abstract idea into the number. And I suggest that with your with the children that struggle more, the children that are on your group that need more support, your focus group, I would suggest you use this real resource every lesson till they are confident to do 1 or 2 without it, then another 2 with it, then you take it away slowly, and then for definite. But they will have to understand the link between things. Okay, for us, even for some adults, it's quite difficult. Okay, so imagine for those little kids. If you are in key stage 1, the scale works very, very well. Further, in key stage, low key stage 2, years 3 and 4, and then key stage 2, upper key stage 2, 5 and 6, what I'm going to explain now might help them finding answers to kind of every problem. Like a scale, each side of the equation has to have the same amount of things. So, the same amount on both sides, because a number represents something that is real. Okay? Now, how can I balance this? I have to isolate the question. Which number? How do I isolate the question? Mechanically, some of you say, use the inverse, put on the other side, etc., etc., etc. These are the mechanical ways of solution. These are shortcuts. You will understand what I'm saying when I'm writing my next. To balance this, I have to get rid of the 3. But if I get rid of the 3 on this side, I have to get rid of the 3 on this side as well. This is 0. And this will be what? 7. Ah, that's where it comes from. And you can use this sometimes teaching to children that really, really struggle. Why do I have to put this on that side? Why do I have to use the inverse? There will be children that they go like, I don't understand this, and you're just not explaining it to me. You need sometimes to show that. But I would show that with the scale and posing a question. Now the methods that you can do that. We are nearly there. Because most of you, whichever method you use and you used to teach to solve it is correct. But now you understand where it comes from. So I will put a different one. Okay? Some of you might have seen this, using the inverse. I've seen teachers say, when you do the inverse, do like Michael Jackson's moonwalk, and and start from here. So you're looking from this side. So reverse, inverse. You start with 12. Now inverse, what's the inverse of adding? Taking away. The 6 stays the same. And then the flower will be here. So flower equals 6. Or you can, goes to this side, but then if it goes to the other side, the sign has to be the inverse operation, so it will be that as well. Okay? But you know what you're doing, you're balancing both sides of the equation. Minus 6 here, minus 6 here. So it's 0, and then it's the answer. If you go further, you sort of think, okay, very cute with flowers. But first, when you get later in life, you have X's, Y's, and A's, and B's. How does that help them? I will give you an example. 3x at 8 equals 2x and 7. You have to balance both sides of the equation. What will be easier? What will be easier to get rid of? We start with the x. So how many x's do we have here? 2. So what do? We do take away 2x here, take away 2x here. 2x with 2x is 0. 3x, 2x, x at 8 equals 7. What do? We need to balance. X at 8, take away 8, because now we need to isolate this. 7 take away 8, 0, here's minus 1, x is minus 1. If you're working with negative numbers, which you will be later in key stage 2. Okay? So you have to balance everything. You have to isolate the items. How are you going to check your answers? You can check your answers replacing the flower with the answer. So we found the answer is 7. So 7 at 3, is it 10? It is 10, so it's right. Or we can use the inverse of what we found. For example, this 3 equals 7. So I'm just going to do this. So flower is 10, take away 3. Flower equals 7. So you go and say, is 10 take away 3, take away 7, 3? Is it? Oh, it is. Okay? Or some of you will teach the children this triangle, which I think is very, very useful. And do not worry about copying anything. Everything is on a resource, like on the link underneath. And it is like a script of this lesson. It is like a lesson plan. So you can use it at home, for yourself, and you can use training other teachers. You can use this video. It's all free. Namasteacher is for you. So for example, we can do flower, 3 and 10. If we find the answer is 7, so 7, okay? 7 at 3, 10. 10 take away 3, 7. 10 take away 7 is 3. And they can write all those there. 3 at 7 equals 10. 7 at 3 equals 10. 10 minus 3 equals 7. 10 minus 7 equals 3. Oh, does it work on taking away? Let's try. Nine, 5, 14. So 14 take away 5 equals 9. Now you cannot do 5 take away 14 because you can't use what? the order doesn't alter in addition. Commutative, okay? The commutative law. You can even address that to the kids. 9 add 5 equals what? 14. 14 take away 9 equals 5. So you have how to check your answers. Remember, when you're taking away, it's different, because 10 take away 7 will be 3. 10 take away 3 will be 7. 9 add, so we use the inverse. 9 add 5 will be 14. But 9 add 14 won't be 5. 14 take away 9. So every time you do this way, is take away. Every time you do this way, is adding. And every time you do this way, getting out of the answer is take away. And the children will realize that. Okay? Simply because you need to balance both sides of the equation. I hope this helps. Any doubts, contact me via the contact form in the blog or here on YouTube. Remember, this is a quite simple idea, balancing, but it is what equations are all about. Try giving examples like the supermarket example I gave, doing the scale thing with marbles. You will see that the rate of your first and second lessons on this will exponentially improve. And then you can really work with the children that are struggling, whether the others will just flourish. Easy. And you will see, oh, I don't have to reteach the same lesson to half of the class. It's just the ones that really struggle with maths, and I feel more confident to help them, because now I know where things come from. This comes from science. Science is, every science, be history, chemistry, philosophy, represents life. It's a kind of description of what happens in life, are the feelings, phenomenon, real phenomenon, okay? So be aware that this it comes from reality. It's not something abstract. And the moment the children realize it, they will use it much easier. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and the blog. Namasteacher, the teacher in me greets the teacher in you.